Hi grade 1 friends. Today I'm going to share with you a story called Sometimes I Feel Like a Fox, written by Danielle. This story won the Marilyn Bailey Picture Book Award, and there's a lot of reasons why I could see why this book would win. First of all, the illustrations are beautiful, and you'll see that as we go throughout the story, how interesting they are and how different they are from a lot of picture books you may have seen. Also, Danielle would be a First Nations writer, or perhaps I believe she would be Métis, as this book is dedicated to Owen, You Will Always Be My Little Dear, who I'm guessing is her son, but it is also dedicated to the thousands of Métis and Aboriginal children who grew up never knowing their totem animal. Now, we've talked about Métis children before and Aboriginal children when we were talking about First Nations children, and how on Orange Shirt Day, we talked about how lots of them were sent to something called a residential school, and they didn't get to see their families the same way we get to see our families. And that was a big kind of heavy conversation we had in class. But what she was talking about, them not knowing their totem animals, was they missed out on a lot of their culture. And so I'm just going to share with you what she has said at the back of this book, because I think it will help give us a bit more understanding as we read the story. She says, the word totem or dudum in Anishinaabe means clan. And Anishinaabe would be a group in the Aboriginal people. So we have like the Blackfoot and the Cree close to where we live, but the Anishinaabe are actually in part of Ontario, close to where one of my best friends, Anna, lives. She actually sent me this book in the mail. In the Anishinaabe tradition, everyone belongs to an animal clan, which is decided at birth and is usually the same as their fathers. This totem animal symbolizes the skills that each member of the clan must learn to serve their tribe. People from the same dudum are considered brothers and sisters and cannot marry, but they have a collective duty to care for one another. Animal totems continue to be an important part of being Anishinaabe. Animal totems are also known as animal guides. In my book, a selection of totems act as guides to help children identify with the positive character traits of animals that may be familiar to them. Although kids may associate with different animal guides throughout their lives, it's commonly believed that one animal acts as their main guide. This connection can be shared through physical interaction, dreams, mutual characteristics, or personal interest. The animal instructs and protects the child as they experience their physical and spiritual life. Totem animals remind us that all living organisms are part of the same cycle of life. I think that is such a cool thing to read right now, especially as we're spending all of this time out in nature and home with our families, is how we're connected to nature and everything around us. And as you read this, you may find that you connect with one of the animals. And after you're done listening, I do want you to go and check out the written response activity, because I want to hear, and your teachers want to hear, about what animals you might connect with. And maybe it's a different animal you connect with on a different day, depending how you're feeling, or different things that have happened to you that week. So let's take a look at the story. Sometimes I feel like a fox. Already lots of cool, colorful artwork. Sometimes I feel like a fox. And thank you to Groundwood Books for letting us share this online right now. Sometimes I feel like a bear, strong and confident. I stand tall and growl and protect those around me. Sometimes I feel like a deer, sensitive and kind. I listen to the sounds in the distance and prance throughout the forest. Sometimes I feel like a beaver, busy and purposeful. I only use what I need and always get the job done. We talked about beavers in our Canadian Symbols unit and what hard workers they are. Sometimes I feel like a butterfly, delicate and free. I spread my wings wide open and flutter from flower to leaf. Sometimes I feel like a moose, awkward yet graceful. I move swiftly and silently with a gentle strength and wisdom. Sometimes I feel like an owl. Intuitive and discreet, I fly across the dark night sky, always watching and listening. Sometimes I feel like a rabbit. Quick and alert, I like to eat my carrots and leap into new adventures. Sometimes I feel like a turtle, slow and quiet. I retreat into my shell and I find peace and solitude. Sometimes I feel like a wolf, intelligent and loyal. I surround myself with family and howl into the moonlight. Sometimes I feel like a porcupine, innocent and curious. I have a big imagination and know how to protect myself. Sometimes I feel like a raven, dark and mysterious. I am both messenger and secret keeper, and help bring light from darkness. Sometimes I feel like a fox, sly and sharp. I observe all those around me and disappear quickly. And this is kind of neat on the last page here. They've listed all of the different animals and one word that would describe the animal, particularly to that Anishinaabe clan. So a bear would be brave, a deer loving, beaver determined, a butterfly vulnerable, a moose strong, owl wise, rabbit creative, turtle patient, wolf loyal, porcupine curious, raven truthful, and a fox is clever. Today I feel like a raven. Very neat. Thanks for listening, and go take a peek at the written response. That would be really neat to see. I'd love to see what kind of animals you feel like.